Hey guys, it is finally time to paint this wall. This wall has come a long way. We took off upper and lower cabinets and an old pegboard. The cabinets were nailed into dark paneling, so the paneling was all destroyed. We switched it out and now we have nice smooth board. It is all primed and ready for paint. So what I want to do with this wall is I want to make this an accent wall. So I'm going to paint it dark gray, but then I want to have some lines going top to bottom at a slight angle with some wood tones, some lighter grays, and a little splash of color. The center is going to be wood, so I cut off one end of a 4-inch wide and 1/4-inch thick poplar board at 20 degrees and used that to start the lines for the pattern. Now here's a hack for not having to measure anything at all. For the adjoining lines on both sides, I used a 1x2 board to make an 1.5-inch thick line. Then I used the thin edge of the same 1x2 board to make the 3/4-inch lines. I used the same technique to also make the other arm of the pattern. So now I have my pattern drawn out, but because the base color is going to be darker than the accent colors, I am going to start by painting in the accent colors first. I started by taping the outer lines using a green frog tape, and I painted 2 coats of the first color. I didn't bother taping the other side of the stripe because the wood board is going to be here, and I wanted to make sure that there was an overlap of color underneath, so we don't see any white spots. The tape needs to be peeled when the paint is wet, and it's probably my favorite thing to do in a patterned wall project. I just continued to tape and paint the light gray on the other diagonal stripe as well. For the next color, a pretty teal blue, I repeated the same thing. Tape the outside edge and paint. On parts where the tape had to overlap on a freshly painted surface, I used the yellow delicate surface tape. Now, a freshly painted surface is any surface that is less than a week old, but it is dry to touch. And that gives the 2 colors that go on both sides of the wood board. Now for adjoining colors, like here when I'm painting the coral right next to the teal, it is very important that the tape follows the previously painted edge. To be ultra sure, I like to keep a very small offset between the tape and the paint line. That way you don't get white spaces between the 2 colors. Alternatively, and if you have a textured wall, you can paint the teal over the tape to make sure that there are no white spots. Be sure to burnish the edges of the tape to make sure it is sealed and the paint doesn't bleed. Once all the stripes were painted, it was time to paint the main color, the dark gray. I taped off the stripes and went ahead and painted the entire wall. I have a list of all the colors I used in the description below. For the wood board, I stained it in nutmeg and I attached it with a staple gun. That is it. I love using frog tape for my wall projects and the lines are always so crisp and clean. Plus, I am so excited to have this wall finished. It reflects some of my favorite colors and the wood brings in much needed warmth. It's going to make such an awesome backdrop for my videos. There are still a lot of projects left for this wall, like adding shelving, adding some decor, but I am happy with this new beginning. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see how this wall develops and for how the rest of the garage comes together. Thanks for watching. I think you will also like this video where I painted a geometric wall in my kids' room. or you might like this project. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos.